Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Hope you are well. So today in this video I am going to continue the last poem, that means the last ride together. Here in this very video I am going to analyze stanza 8, 9 and 10, the last three stanzas of this poem. So without wasting time, let us analyze the last three stanzas. So in the 8th stanza, and you, great sculptor. So we can see that in the previous stanza he was asking the poet about what he had gained from his poetry, from his art forms, and in this stanza we can see that he is asking the sculptor, so what he has gained from these arts. So you gave a score of years to art. A score of year means 20 years. So you have given your very precious time, you have given your 20 years, quite a long time, to art, in the devotion of arts, and you have become her slave, you have become her slave, and that's your Venus. And what you have made? This Venus, this structure of Venus. Who is Venus? Venus is the god of love and beauty. So what is the result of your so long 20 years of time? No, the result is this structure of Venus. This is obviously admirable, but the opposite thing is that whence we turn to yonder girl that fords the burn. But from here we turn to whom? No, the yonder girl, the girl of the girl who is at some distance, and she is obviously a living girl, a living creature, that means a girl of flesh and blood. So what does the poet mean here? Actually he wants to say that whenever there is an art form and there is some lively thing, we actually tends towards the lively thing. Actually life is greater than art, and this is the main thing that Browning wants to mean here. So he is saying that when we can find some rustic girl, that may be obviously common girl who was passing before our eyes, we just turn away our sight, our glance from the sculpture of Venus to that lady. Okay, so in the next line, you acquiesce and shall I repine. So he is saying that don't you agree with this, don't you agree with me, and shall I repine, is there anything to regret? Do you think this is regretting? No, not at all. What man of music? Now from the sculptor he is asking the musician. You grown grey with notes and nothing else to say. So you are nurturing with the notes, several notes, the sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, and obviously other things. So you are just nurturing this, and you are making these notes, you are making these songs, very nice songs, and nothing else to say, and you have nothing to say. So is this your sole praise from a friend? Greatly his opera's trains intend, but in music we know how fashions end. So here he is saying that, so do you think, he is asking the musician that don't you think that the appraisal from just a single friend is your only attribute, or we can say is the only prize that you get against your so-called devotion towards music. And he is saying that just the single appraisal from your friend is that greatly his opera strains intend, that means your music has done something great. But the thing is that, but in music we know how fashions end, but with time our taste of music change. It obviously it tends to be changed. For example, in the 60s and 70s we used to hear the classical songs, then came the light Bollywood songs, then the Bollywood film songs, and obviously after that now came the Punjabi bhangras and tashas and something like that. Obviously I am not detesting that, but look at the change, the change of tastes amongst the public. So he is saying that obviously you have devoted your life to this, to these art forms, to these sculptures, to these musical pieces, and various things, and obviously poems. But the thing is that the fashion does tend to change. I gave my youth, but we died in fine. So the poetic person is saying that I have given my youth, I have dedicated my youth in winning the heart of my lady, but obviously I have failed. But the thing is that the consolation is that we are riding, but we ride in fine. We are riding, and your result is not obviously with you, because fashion does tend to change. The taste for music, the taste for sculpture, and obviously the poem does change. So here is the difference between us. So now let us move towards the next stanza, stanza number 9. Who knows what's fit for us? Who knows what is good for us? We never know, we can never know. Had fate proposed bliss, here should sublimate my being. That means if fate or luck is very much favorable towards me, and had I signed the bond, and if I had even made a bond with luck, that luck will grant everything to me, that means I will have everything on this mundane world, I will have all my desires fulfilled on this very world. In spite of that, still one must lead some life beyond. In spite of that, I must have something, I must have some desires left with me that has to be fulfilled in life beyond, in the afterlife. That means the poet is saying that we must not live with complete fulfillment, we must have some desires with us that has to be fulfilled in the afterlife. No, so this is a typical Browningian concept. And in the next line, have a bliss to die with, dim descried. So he is saying that we must die with some desires, with some wants in our life. We must not have fulfillment in this very life. Otherwise, life will not be so much happy. The afterlife, obviously not this life, obviously afterlife will not be so happy, because heaven in our idea is the space or is the place for fulfillment. Heaven is nothing but a synonymous word for fulfillment, a fulfillment of our wishes that we never have in our mundane life. We actually think that everything we will get in heaven. This foot once planted on the goal, this glory garland round my soul, could I describe such? So he is saying that this foot once planted on the goal, that means if I have everything, if I have my goal fulfilled, that means if I attain fulfillment on this very world, or the glory garland, that means the garland of victory over my soul, so what will happen? Could I describe such? So the poet wants to mean that if all his wishes get fulfilled on this very world, that means if he is successful in his love, then he would have nothing to look for in the afterlife, because afterlife or the life in heaven is called the life of perfection. There is the perfection. So the poet is saying, if the perfection that I was looking for, if I get that in this very world, then what will be the importance of heaven in my life? I don't have any wish to go to heaven, no, because I am getting everything in this life. So in the next line, try and taste. So don't you believe that? So just think over this. I sink back shuddering from the quest. So I am very much afraid of thinking about that. Earth being so good, would heaven seem best? So what do you think? If earth becomes so good, if earth becomes so good a place of fulfillment, then who would want to go to heaven? Don't you think that heaven will lose its importance, its significance as a place of fulfillment? And obviously that will happen. Now heaven and she are beyond this ride. So here he is saying that heaven, that means the perfection, that, or we can say in other words, the union with his girlfriend, that is obviously heavenly thing for the boyfriend. And he is saying that all these things, that means this heaven and she are beyond this ride. Okay, so this is stanza 9. Let us move towards stanza number 10.
And yet she has not spoke so long. So for this time being, for this long ride, she has not spoken so long. She has been completely silent during this period. What if heaven be that? So the boyfriend is thinking, if this is heaven, because this is the perfect time for them, no? fair and strong. So both of the fair thing and the strong thing is there. What is this fair and strong is suggesting here? No, the fair means the fair lady and the strong means the strong muscular or the strong-willed boyfriend. Both of them are mentioned here. So both of them are side by side, and obviously they are in perfect equilibrium. So we can say that this is just a synonym for the perfection, that means of heaven, at life's best, and this is the best time of their life, with our eyes upturned. So they are turning their eyes upwards, that means they are looking towards the heaven. Obviously we think that heaven lies over our head, so they are turning over to the sky. Withered, life's flower is first discerned. Life's flower means obviously heaven here. We fixed so ever should so abide. What if we still ride on? So here he is just thinking about a possibility that if we just still ride on and on and on, that means their ride is going to happen forever, a continuous, perpetual, and eternal ride. He is thinking of that. We too, just two of them are riding by with life forever, old yet new. And he is saying that our life will be old. Obviously this riding will be, if the eternal ride ever happens, that will be a life of complete happiness, a complete heavenly thing. So what will happen? No, this life will be the continuation of the previous life on this very earth, but at the same time it will be new life. Why new life? Because I will have the bliss, the complete bliss that I was desiring for. No, changed not in kind but in degree. So the change will be not in kind but in degree. Why he is saying that the change will be in degree? Because the love between themselves, the affection between them will be more intense. That is why he is saying that. The instant made eternity. So what will happen? The instant, the present will be made complete eternal, made completely perpetual. That is the beauty of this line. So the intensity of the emotion, of their emotion, will grow, and the happiness would increase so much that their life will be very much heavenly, and their life will get some eternity, we can say.
And heaven just prove that I and she ride together. So the poetic persona is saying, or we can say the poet is ending this poem with a very sweet note, that is saying that heaven is just something, just some glorious thing, that it will be here, and that is nothing but our riding. Our riding is the only heavenly thing that is happening on this earth, and we are just riding together forever ride, and this ride is nothing but an eternal ride. So here the poem is ended, and I think you will love this poem. If this video is of even of a little bit help, then please give it a like, do share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching this video.